Forster football improves to 7-0 and a perfect 6-0 in Midwest Conference play. I'm Adam Plager, joined by the head coach of the Foresters, Jim Catanzaro. Well, a dazzling start on Saturday against the Ripon College Redhawks. I want to talk about setting the tone. Your first 4 offensive drives, all in touchdowns. Just speak about the way your group set the tone.
Yeah, it was, we were obviously highly motivated, great energy by our whole team for the entire game, whether they were on the field, on the sideline, didn't matter. They were very into that game, very motivated, and that made it really easy to be a play caller. I thought we were extremely balanced with how we attacked. I thought that we made a couple of slight adjustments to some of the things that we were doing that really helped us and allowed us to take advantage of a few things. And so, again, our offensive line played probably their best game of the year. No sacks, over 300 yards rushing, and that just opens up so many other things, which led to Josh Gaska breaking a few records as a quarterback as well.
We'll speak about that. Josh Gaska, record-setting day for him. 7 passing touchdowns, quarterback efficiency rating also top of the leaderboards as well. He really had his best game. What did you see out of him?
Yeah, I mean, he took the game plan, and I think Josh would even tell you that Tuesday practice was not good. There were some wrinkles in there that really kind of threw things into flux for him, and it really took us spending a lot of time in the film room. Coach Bourbon and him had a great film session on Wednesday and getting themselves back for the Wednesday practice, and then on Thursday and Friday continuing to hammer down some of the nuances. Even though we're not on the field those days, just getting the mental piece of it down. And then Friday cleaning it up, and I thought that he really took the coaching points that we were having, understanding what we were trying to do within a given play or a given formation, and that led to him, being able to break a few records. I mean, you look at the completion percentage. I mean, I know that wasn't the record, but when you're at 85+% on your completion percentage, you're probably going to have a pretty good day. And we were able to give him some opportunities in the red zone to throw the football where we had seen some things. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 throws he would have liked to have gotten back and waited for the next read in the progression, but I think that it was still a really special day for him, and one I hope he continues to build off as we get on the stretch here. Something
that may get lost in all that fun was Tommy Carberry also had one of his best days as well. 3 receiving touchdowns for him. He really looked to be on his game.
Yeah, and he had a heck of a weekend because he had his Marine Officer Candidate School testing on Friday. And so he was pretty exhausted coming into like our Friday practice and stuff. And so we weren't sure what we were going to get from Tommy with that grueling test. And he came out and really, he had a great day. He's a really special route runner. I think that people don't know how good he is because maybe he doesn't have the 100-yard games and stuff like that. And he's probably not when you go down the list of our wide receivers, he's probably somewhere around 4th or 5th on your name list of people that catch the football. And it's just because of what he does that he's almost always available. And when he's in the RPO game, his understanding of nuances and route adjustments really makes him special.
A.J. Jackson had over 100 rushing, over 100 receiving yards, really showed that dual threat capability. That was on full display. It really makes it so tantalizing for opposing defenses.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first player in my time here that I can remember that had 100 both receiving and rushing. And so that was pretty special. And he's very efficient. Like there was, he had 15 touches in the day, which is kind of our target for him every week. And so I think it was, 9 carries and 6 catches or something like that. And so when you're able to balance that up and give him those different opportunities, he's going to make you look like a really good coach. And I think that there was a couple, he bounced an outside zone on one, but there was a couple of 1 and 2 yard gains that he made, just keeping the chains moving. That were really good for us, and I know he converted the early 4th and 1, on a pretty big play when he bounced it outside. And so, just his ability to see the hole is really special for a guy who's really been at the wide receiver spot the last 3 years. To move over there to running back and really have that feel for it is special.
A shutout performance from the defense. You hold the Ripon offense to under 100 yards in total offense. It really was a special performance out of them.
Yeah, I mean, our defensive line was in the backfield the whole day. Our secondary with 3 interceptions makes some huge plays. And I thought the thing that I was most impressed by our defense was the physicality with which they played from start to finish. Like when they were running the football, they were met with extreme resistance the entire day. And whether it was a linebacker, a lineman, DB, it didn't matter. I thought that level of physicality was something I want to continue to see them play with. I thought it was a definite step up from how we played the week before at Grinnell. I thought the Grinnell game we were a little sluggish getting off the bus and doing all those types of things. And so I hope that this is that stepping stone for us moving forward to this week against Beloit.
Dominic Lewis was inches away from returning an interception. It looked really close from our vantage point up in the broadcast booth. A really special game from him, and Trenton Braille also with another interception. You guys on a roll right now with interceptions in games.
Yeah, we're doing a great job being that air traffic control unit and making sure that we decide where the ball can and can't go. D-Lou almost had that touchdown. I think he stepped out on like the 2. And it gave us a chance to just get another touchdown before the half that was really, I don't know if that was the nail in the coffin, but it definitely led to that situation as we went forward.
Nick Jaco, he's been shifting positions at times. He's really been versatile. He led the group in tackles overall. What have you seen out of him here this year?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing on Saturday was his play on kickoff, because early on they were kind of getting us in their kickoff return. We made a little adjustment at halftime, and Nick ended up, I think, having 2 tackles on kickoff in the second half as well. He's a super physical player. When he's healthy, he's as good as anybody. When he's not healthy, we can't use him. And so one of the things that he's done a really good job this year is understanding that sometimes we got to take a few less reps, take care of our body, and he's always tried to do that. But this year we've been able to prevent those things from becoming a problem and helping him get healthy for game days. And so I think that with him, that learning curve that you get as an older player, it tells you, hey, I can't do what I did before because that didn't work. I got to try something new. And whether it's working with Coach McClure, the strength coach, or Mike Gilbert, the athletic trainer, and then the coaches, all kind of meeting together and say, hey, his workload needs to be this so that he can be available for Saturday, I think has been really, really good. Nick is a talented player who's always full bore, all out. And that's where the soft tissue injuries can sometimes creep in. And so for him, really making sure that we dial that back at certain times. He's taken that. It goes against his natural instinct to do that, but he had a great day on Saturday, a couple TFLs, and was really active around and behind the line of scrimmage, so we would love that.
A huge win for your group, but now it's time to turn the page. It's going to be the Beloit College Buccaneers, your group back on the road. How do you reset as a group to get ready for this one?
Yeah, it's really focusing on, hey, we just set a new level of what our current constructed team can play at. What we did on Saturday, versus a team, again, I think the one thing that's really unique, that's a team that's beaten us the last 2 years. And they are very similar on defense, a lot of the same personnel, all the same wide receivers, a number of offensive linemen that were the same. So it wasn't like that was a team that hadn't beaten us before with a lot of the same personnel. And for our guys to really come out in that way, we have set a new standard of expectation. And that expectation is that this upcoming week we keep doing that. We don't rest on the laurels. That can't be the high water mark for us for the season. We have to keep building upon that. And I think that our guys, maybe the lesson goes back 2 weeks ago against Grinnell of playing the full 60 minutes, taking the road trip, getting going in the first quarter. That was something that we really had been struggling with the previous couple of games, having great second quarters, but not good first quarters. We changed some things in practice last week to try and instill a more quick start mentality. Hopefully, that was why we had the quick start on Saturday. If not, we'll try something else next week. So we just want to keep going with that, and hopefully our guys know that this is it's a shorter road trip. It's not 5 hours to Iowa. It's about an hour and a half to just under 2 hours from our campus. Our guys have all been there before, whereas Grinnell, they hadn't been there before. And so for us, this is going to be a chance for them to get out there, get on the field, hopefully go 1-0 again and just be focused.
I'll ask you one last question. As a head coach, what area of the game are you going to really focus on to see out of your group right out of the jump?
It always starts with a special teams play. The kickoff's always going to start the game no matter what you do. So we got to start there, be physical in that, and then, whatever side's on the ball, it's a message, right? If we go out there in defense and we give up a long drive, okay, we weren't ready, right? Even if they don't score. On offense, if we go out and score, everything seems right, but you don't know if you actually executed really well or if you just hit a big play. The execution piece is the most important for us. We really want to see each play handled with a positive effort, mentality, guys flying down the field, great physicality. And so from my perspective, we really just want to make sure that we start the game on whatever side of the ball with the special teams play in doing those things. Just physical, high energy, high effort. And then the guys who aren't in the game, I think that sometimes they're kind of in that mindset, hey, we're going to get to play against this team or something like that. And they leave a little bit of their energy off the sideline because they're saving for when they get in. I want them to be like they were on Saturday. That was such a genuinely fun, high energy game. I got a chance to listen to the broadcast on Sunday, and you could hear our sideline through the broadcast. That should be every week, and that's something we've taken pride in through the years. And I think there's been a couple of games this year where maybe the early morning bus to get to the game or something like that withdrew some of that energy, and that'll be a piece for this week as well.
All right, Forester fans, that is going to wrap up episode 9 of the Coaches Show. The Foresters back in action on the road this Saturday with a meeting with the Beloit College Buccaneers.